monthly love reading for the month of June 2026, or whenever you see this. Rejection. That is so funny. I've just been thinking about a rejection is protection. Build your confidence by dating a lot and find out what people like about you, is what the little blurb says. But in this round of readings with this deck, I'm learning to not really take that into account. It's more about the concept of the word that pops out. All right, so you're showing up here as Ace of Pentacles reverse, Six of Pentacles reverse. So no new opportunities. Maybe you're dealing with a little bit of financial debt or just material loss of some sort. And then the Six of Pentacles reverse, it's like, another one bites the dust type energy. Ooh, Nine of Cups reverse. Yeah. They weren't as romantic or loving as you thought, or they withdrew their loving actions towards you. So are we talking about an ex here? Is this the month of the exes? And if you're watching this and it's not June anymore, it's all good. Ace of Cups. It was a new love relationship. This person, Nine of Wands, has their defenses up, taking things slowly. I think they have good intentions from what I can see thus far. Magician and the Eight of Swords. They had the capability to move towards you, but they were choosing not to, and then they ended it. Okay. Oh, Seven of Swords at the end of that as well. Oh, you can't see any of this shit. Interesting. Seven of Swords. Like there's a manipulation or a strategy or a game being played, but it wasn't visible on the screen here that we're looking at. So I wonder if that was hidden to you as well. So what was the major? Okay, yeah, you're just not over this yet. So then what was the major issue between you two? King of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. The King of Swords, I would kind of see for you potentially, but also like logic, reason, better, higher mind, better thoughts. Why do I want to say that? Like better intelligence. And I got Two of Swords and the Emperor. Like in order to take control of the situation with these dual, the dual wolves and everything here, your own control, your own mastery over the situation required choices. So that's what came up into play. Interesting. Nine of Cups. This is about your own emotional well-being going forward. It's not just this relationship. What did you want out of the situation? Four of Pentacles, financial stability. You also wanted privacy and just an exclusivity. Sun reverse. Wow. Five of Wands. Okay. So there was also like a desire to hide any arguments or disagreements that y'all might have had. There's also just like an expectation that negative attitudes are going to bring in some argumentation and differences of opinion, and that you had expectations that people, this person that you're dating would not agree with you, that there would be arguments anytime that you showed up negatively or in a depressed state of mind or anything like that. And then there's this whole story about your expectations. I think, yeah, Wheel of Fortune, this is what's holding you back. So this is coming out because this is the juice of the reading. And we might end this reading after we go through this because, I'm just kidding. But like, this is what it is. Your ideas of hope and healing and even your spiritual progress is it's shaky and it's unsteady. It's not as diligent or stable as it could be. And the reason being is your desire for clarity on every issue. So there's a problem with not letting things develop in their own time. And so I can see with this most recent person is that Ace of Cups, they had feelings. Like they were like, yeah, okay, let's do this, And they could have opened up to you, but they had their guard up. Again, as I said, rightfully so. And I don't even get that it's like due to trauma from them. It's more just like they have a strategy to bring an end to anything that disrupts their boundaries. And this is their own, like, Eight of Swords. It's their own choices. This is their self-imposed fence that they have around themselves. They're not going to allow just anyone to come in and say, no, I need to know what you're thinking right now. I need to have your time needs to be monopolized by me, like, or whatever. I don't even know that it's about time. It's just more like, I see you being the type here that wants to get to the bottom of any disagreement or situation, any perceived sadness, anything that's not illuminated and fully understood. Let's talk it out. Let's argue it out if need be. You want full and total clarity. And this person wasn't willing to do that. They saw that as being pushy or stubborn and a step too far. I think with the Star and the Hierophant, I would disagree that I would just say that's not an ultimately negative personality quality at all. But it did not work for this person. Because you're looking for illumination and higher ground. You're very methodical here with the Hierophant. You want to integrate all understandings. What's going on? What are you thinking? What are your perceptions of me? What are your perceptions of the relationship? Why are you acting this way or that way? Why are you, it was like you're trying to lay bare everything about this person right away. And that rushes things along in a way that creates an unsteady environment with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So even going back to like personal choices and your own control over the situation, because like Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords is sort of mirroring this as well, of like, you have higher knowledge, you're intelligent here, you're financially independent. You want to make a choice that makes sure that you're still empowered. The Emperor isn't necessarily like a negative, controlling factor here. It's just like, no, I'm not going to give away my power. I'm going to make sure that I'm on top of it. I want to be on top of it. But that did not work for this person. They prefer to move much more slowly. I wonder if they were like a Taurus or something. It's kind of giving that anyway. What did they want out of the relationship? What was important to them? Three of Pentacles, mastery, privacy, diligence, Princess of Pentacles. Like they had mind on money, material values as well. Again, it gives more Taurus or Capricorn energy, perhaps, or even Scorpio with the bear there. Ten of Pentacles reversed. I don't think this person particularly liked being accountable to a wider group, like, come meet my parents right away, or, I'm going to take you to this work party or something like that. I also feel that they were a bit of a non-traditionalist in that sense, where they aren't rushing or aren't desirous of a home, family, legacy, traditional setup. What they are looking for is, can we do something financially stable and prosperous together? What can we learn about with each other? They're also focused on looks. I think there's something earthy about this person, but it's also like surface level. And again, they're not comfortable with sharing. They choose not to. It's not really telling me why they're uncomfortable with it, or if they are at all. It's simply saying, no, I have a firm boundary in place. You're not going to get inside my head. I'm not going to talk about my childhood. I'm not going to talk about my trauma. And that was that. They stuck to it. Eight of Cups reversed. They also have that mentality of the I can fix them mentality. Now we're going to get into how they saw you. But they want to go after, this is showing me as, okay, yeah, you're much more this is you, pragmatic, practical, about your business. So what they're looking for in a relationship is someone who needs fixing, someone that they can come in and save and rescue, someone that needs them more than they need them. I don't know how well that works for someone that's showing up in my reading as an emperor. Probably not at all. You couldn't be further from that. What do people like about you? Okay, then let's go back to this. Build up your confidence by dating and find out what people like about you. That's ultimately the question here, is what did they like about you and why did this not work? So what were your fears related to this situation and how did that manifest in a negative way for you? Virgo. Lovers reversed. Irreconcilable differences, breakup. King of Wands reversed. Improper control structure, someone taking advantage of you, authority figure. This could be a bad ex or even a negative authority figure like father issues or something like that. But it would be saying someone who claimed authority and was dominating despite not having the permission by you to be led, or, told anything. Five of Pentacles. You also didn't want them to fuck with your money. Nine of Swords reversed. You're afraid that there was falsehoods. Nine of Cups reversed. Like moving towards you in a negative way with words, verbal abuse, with emotions, emotional abuse. Like that's understandable. Like even Four of Cups here in the fears. Fear of accepting something. Oh, fear of passing up on something. Good. Fear of missing out. Fear of having too high standards. Wow. Very Virgoan of you, I must say. Okay. So let's see about this person. What were they afraid of and how did that manifest? I bet we can already tell with this avoidance of opening up. And if I get a Knight or King of Cups reversed here, I'm just going to go get a lottery ticket because I'm on point. But what was Virgo sun? Virgo. What was Virgo's person's fears about the relationship with Virgo? Very reluctant to come out. Ace of Wands, sexual fears, Six of Swords, Ace of Swords, Nine of Cups. Okay, they have a great deal. We're not going to get super into it. Like they have a lot of fears, but ultimately it's like sexuality and vitality or inspiration and drive. This could also be anger issues that they have had to run from. In order to get to a higher ground or a place of victory. So something that they found that was a good coping mechanism was for them to build up this boundary, so that they don't let people in because they're afraid of someone hurting them physically or otherwise, someone hurting them through sex. And so something that they do is they just run from anything that feels challenging or aggressive or even passionate. And then fear of Nine of Cups reversed. So that would be like emotional blackmail or manipulation. Five of Swords reversed. Fear of not doing whatever it takes to gain the higher ground. Fear of failure. Fear of like defeat, and cruelty. Again, pretty understandable. They got their own baggage, right? Two of Wands reversed at the base. I mean, that's just like fear of a sexual rejection or a rejection, passionate rejection. Six of Cups behind it. Yeah, they don't know how to handle love that is not transactional. But guess what? That is not your problem because this reading is about you and not this person in the past, though it's illuminating to find out more about it. So now the question I want to look at is, how did they see you? How did they see you? Especially when, for the majority of the time, not at the end or right at the beginning, but like ultimately, when they saw you the most clear, what did they see about you? Six of Cups, motherfucker. Six of Cups. They did not know how to handle emotional connection, openness, sensitivity, compassion, childlike nurturing, innocence, purity, love. All of these things are attached to them with abuse. So, but they did see that you had it. And of course, that is very alluring. Ooh, Prince of Swords. That'd be Page of Swords. Inquisitive, talkative, asks a shitload of questions. This is the why card. But why? And that goes back to the way that you would handle anything that seemed amiss or awry. Nine of Cups. You want to keep your cups full. You want that love to blossom. You have a goal of having a powerful love connection. And maybe there's something here about the way that you've handled your own emotional ups and downs through life is by analyzing and sussing out what's really going on, what trauma it caused or it was caused by. The analysis of all this has enabled you to have a lot of emotional fortitude and strength. Queen of Swords right behind it, period. That's you. It led to your personal truth, Queen of Pentacles. It led to your financial stability and independence as well. Damn, you're a real one, okay? I just want to say the right one is going to be a real one too. Three of Swords. You've been through a lot of breakups. I get that. That's fucking bullshit. And I kind of see the reason here is you're terrified of the irreconcilable differences and that you don't have a soulmate. You're afraid that there's not someone out there that's a good match. The thing is, you've been looking at the Dollar Tree for your one true love when you needed to go to the most exclusive, high end, but also like underground. It's everything. Like you're looking for the rare one because you have worked on yourself. It's almost like being overqualified for the job and you're just applying to work at McDonald's out of desperation. No shade to anyone that works at McDonald's, but like, you're applying to places out of desperation. You're applying to these people out of desperation. And there's no need for that. Like you have a lot of I keep going back to like job analogies because I'm like looking for a job right now. But it's like you're the employer, okay? And you have a fuck ton of applications to sort through. And there is that one perfect like candidate that has everything that you're looking for. You have everything they're looking for. You've both done the work. You went and got the schooling and you've pushed yourself to do things that are outside of your comfort zone and your vision is outside of the box and the not the boundaries, but like I wonder why I said that. Boundaries are good too. It's just sometimes they're taken too far, like this person, but they have healthy boundaries. They're also not going to let just any old riffraff in. That's how you'll know them. Period. So put that here. It's not going to be any shitty King of Wands reverse, that's for sure. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. Even if okay, so this is like the sunk cost fallacy happening here. Even if you've already invested some time with this person, gone on several dates, even dated for a period of time, it's like that's when you find out, when you're like, okay, I don't feel it. I'm making up excuses to keep it going, not making up excuses to protect myself because it's moving too fast, or making up excuses as to why it can't work, trying to go down the list and say, is there any reason why this is not a good option? Instead, you're saying, what are the reasons why this could work out? And I think that perspective is that calling card of, okay, this isn't good enough for me because I'm trying to make it fit rather than like pinching myself that it fits so well. That's what you want to look for. Pinching yourself that it fits so well. All right. So how did you see this person? Like, just for your knowledge, when you first came across this person, how did they take you in? And maybe it's something, Two of Cups. Yeah, fuck. Hey, this could work out. I like really vibe with them. I feel a strong connection. Full reverse. Interesting. They were not a risk. They were a safe choice. Page of Wands reverse. They didn't talk very much. They didn't communicate anything. Two of Pentacles reverse. They had trouble keeping their balls in the air. They had a chaotic life. Four of Swords. Evasive. Again, you need more than that. You need inspiring conversation. You need openness. Let's talk about it, the good and the bad. Let's talk about it to get to a higher place, the purple in the clouds, get to a higher place. Yeah, they're over here hiding with the freaking muskrats. I guess those are bears. Yeah, they're in a state of self-protection. They're searching for understanding. They have good motivations, but I think one way that you could have, I don't even want to say this, right? I'm not, like, you should have done better. No, no, no. If you don't know better, how are you going to do better? But going forward, if you see someone that is like reluctant to talk and they also have a chaotic life circumstance, like this person for you is going to mirror you in a great many ways. They're especially going to have a stable financial circumstance. They're going to have friends and supporters just like you do. And yeah, this person, 10 of Pentacles reversed. They wanted someone who was isolated like them. That's crazy. They also want someone that lived on the surface of life so that it could protect their secrets. 7 of Swords. Okay, so let's get down to the juice of this reading, my dear. This is what you're really here for. What was this person's secret that they were hiding from Virgo? King of Pentacles. They had the money. They had the resources. They had the stability. Why were they hiding this? Why were they hiding this? 5 of Pentacles, High Priestess reversed, Justice reversed. In the past, they had someone that showed up as a mysterious and magnetic and beautiful and psychic person, and that person manipulated them out of their money and their resources and stability. They isolated them and traumatized them to some degree, and broke down their concept of what's fair and right in the world, and it really destabilized their emotions and their sense of security. So now they do actually take a lot of energy and effort towards having their own money and being very financially stable, but they show up looking otherwise to throw people off the scent because they don't want anyone coming after them for their money or for their resources, or to even just to know about it. Like, you're not allowed to know about that. Don't look too closely. Hermit reversed. 2 of Wands. I'm not going to open up to you in a passionate way. We're not going to make plans together. I won't move in with you. 10 of Wands reversed. Like, you're just a burden not worth having at some point, because my secrets need to stay in place because of my fears and my childhood trauma from family. I am not in control of my heart and where it takes me. So then I have these unreasonable expectations to have like fucked up sexual contact and not actually receive anything from anyone. All right, 304. Let's go. Virgo, what do you need to hear from your angels, ascended masters, and loved ones right now concerning what are you learning? Major change. You're going through a major change cycle. This is outside of your control, yet there are a lot of things that you have done that have positively created the opportunity for a major change. This is a turning point. No looking back type shit. Wheel of Fortune. What could hold you back? Worry and anxiety and fear over what other people think, or a lack of support. Feeling that you need support and you don't have it. You do. First of all, it's from your angels, guides, and loved ones. Like, we all go through times. I just had my elbow there. Like, sometimes we harm ourselves just by thinking that we're not supported, whether it's real or not. Like, it's never real. We're always supported by our guides. But also, like, there's people around too. There are people around that really like you. They're just not in the home. Interesting. They're outside your home. So if you live with anyone and they're kind of showing you conditional love, giving you a hard time, throwing on their own unrealized dreams and expectations on you, doing any depersonalization, like, just know that there's people outside. King of Cups reverse, and being jealous, being controlling, emotionally withholding, not opening up to you. Know there's people outside that do want to support you. But regardless, what do we want to tell Virgo? The devil. Okay, let's talk about it. How is Virgo going to break free from this devil cycle where there's just a continuous entrapment? What's really the walk and the walk to freedom? Okay. Oh shit. Okay, so there's a couple ways that are an ongoing situation where communication, like the way that you didn't have awareness of it, okay? But you're gaining awareness of it now. Hesitancy because of insecurity, physical insecurity, feeling that you're not hot enough, not attractive enough, not magnetic enough, not desirable or special or and I also think that's, if you look at the stars on this panther here, and then also here in the high priestess's coat, like that's why you actually attracted this person, is because you weren't magnetic, like, and hypersexualized. And, they're running from that type of energy. They're very fearful of it. But because you're feeling like you want to be this, but you're not, you still show up how you are, but there's energy around you that's just a little bit less self-loving. And so that's how it's self-defeating here. So what do you need to have the courage to do going forward to enact this major change? Because you're ready. Interesting. Two of Wands reversed. Don't make plans. Don't worry about your future. Live in the moment. Five of Cups. Process anything that's hurt you, especially breakups. Acknowledge that they hurt. Rejection is a fucking bitch, dude. You can acknowledge it. Be kind and compassionate towards yourself. Lord knows we've all been through shit like that. You're just too hard on yourself. And I think that came down from someone who was conditionally withholding from you. This could be, I'm almost getting like an elderly person, like a man, elderly. Well, it could be a woman too. Someone elderly that like, I'm seeing like cancer symbol there. Someone you lived with when you were young that you really looked up to or really depended on for their love and compassion and support, and they did not give you what you deserved. You were made to fend for yourself. You were made to be responsible for others instead of being fed into with unconditional love no matter what you did or didn't do. Passion can be reignited in yourself once you're able to live in the moment. You have so much to offer. Your own unique brand and specialness. Your inquisitiveness. There's a lot of people that like this. They want someone that is intellectually inspiring and invokes interest. Eyes, all the eyes. uh, Sparks curiosity. Wants to have really good conversations. Someone who's just witty and sharp, but then also has their shit together and isn't just some like, user or taker. I mean, we're getting almost all the queens here, It's like you're integrating now this Queen of Cups of having a soft, compassionate love, and that's where you're at. You're pretty much there, especially if you're showing up to this other person as a Six of Cups, like you are soft and compassionate and warm, and people do see you that way. So now it's just down to this hesitancy around the Queen of Wands energy. How can you integrate that? The Queen of Wands, ultimately, it's not about any physical quality whatsoever. Queen of Wands can be pretty hard on herself as well. The way that you integrate a Queen of Wands energy so you can move forward to the Empress. Accept some emotional negativity around you. Know that, punishing yourself or feeling like you're less than or should be embarrassed because you popped off on someone or had a negative mood or someone had a negative mood towards you. None of those are burdens worth having. It's okay to feel passionate and angry and powerful and want to show up and be the loudest voice in the room. The Queen of Wands is commands attention. She's confident because she knows what her skills and talents are, and she's fucking weird too. She's weird as fuck. Raise your expectations for other people. Don't let them encroach in on your sovereignty by allowing them and your perceptions of what they're thinking, because you don't even know what they're thinking. But there's a perception of like, oh, they're going to think I'm weird if I do this, or they're going to think I'm too much if I say that, or no, the Queen of Wands doesn't give a fuck because she knows there's compassion in her heart. At the end of the day, that's what allows confident people to do what they do, is that they know their intentions is to harm no one. And sometimes we all accidentally harm others, and there's forgiveness for that, and there's learning in that. Okay. Let's get Alchemy of the Spirit card for Virgo. For their relationships going forward. I'm going to shuffle, bring your energy into it. What do they need to hear about becoming? Give me one card, please. Card of encouragement. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hard to hear some of the shit. I get it. Ask for one card, end up with 3. Whatever. Okay. Candle, number 57. Sometimes it just is like a deep breath. Denying yourself opportunities. Bring the light to your spirit. Be more flexible in trying to see things from other people's perspectives. Remember, there are always 2 sides to any story, and you should aim to find the truth rather than trying to be right all the time. Also, keep in mind that 2 things can be true at the same time, and the person on the other side can be right too, without invalidating your point of view. That's a story about that desire to constantly fix or get to the bottom of any argument or disagreement. Sometimes it's just there are irreconcilable differences, at least temporarily. Those don't need to necessarily be rushed through or mean the end of your enjoyment of your time spent with another person. 15, the waterfall. Are you judging yourself too harshly? Making up excuses and being unfair. Hold yourself accountable. Take responsibility. But don't dwell on self-disappointment for too long. Turn this energy into action by changing your behavior. Learning to be fair with yourself is difficult, so don't act as a merciless judge, but instead as a loving friend who wishes you the best. Isn't that just it? Just, Virgo energy is harder on themselves than anyone else ever could be. And they're so kind to others. Be a loving friend to yourself. Your intentions were pure. You wanted to get to the bottom of any situation. You wanted to understand this person well. You didn't recognize that their boundaries were there, and they were there for their own personal reasons that really had nothing to do with you. Likewise, there's something that you can take and learn from that can help you be the person you really want to be. Okay. And the elephant, card number 40. I also saw the whale as like the symbol of someone who kind of hurt you in childhood. So I just want to quickly touch on that since it fell open. Lacking self-control, overreacting, feeling triggered, and acting impulsively. So anyone who needed you to moderate their emotions for them in your childhood, that's what you're like when you want to look to why do I try to people please or try to fix any problem right away? It was because someone didn't have self-control or they overreacted and they dramatized things. They triggered by every stupid little thing that would happen. Yeah, fearing rejection and vulnerability. There's a lot here. This is going to be an ongoing process, but there's a major option for transformation here. Being at peace with yourself, feeling compassion, understanding, and feeling content. It's time to make peace with all the people you once were. I already talked to y'all about this recently. I swear I got this exact same card. With the version of you that was naive and was fooled, with the version of you that fell in love with the wrong person, with the version of you that tried a job or started a business that didn't work out, with the version of you that gave up on your dreams. You did what you could with the wisdom you had at the time, and now you can do better. You can't do better if you didn't know better. like saying that all the time in my readings. Like it's just so true. People are so hard on themselves. I don't like it. It's like you're in no danger of like not being introspective or not holding yourself accountable. You're in danger of doing too much to invert that, and now you can't take it anymore, and so now you're depersonalizing it on everybody else. Everybody else has to be accountable because you're very fragile, and you don't want to do that. And it happens without your conscious knowledge, so it's something that has to be rooted out, which you're an expert at. And the root of it is self-love, ultimately. So patience with yourself. You're a badass. You're a bad bitch. Or a bad motherfucker. And you deserve to walk down the street with your head held fucking high as shit. For real. Let them stare, let them laugh. They're not, by the way, but let them do that if they were. Because the energy that it returns back to you is so powerful. It radiates, you know? It's energy that you deserve to keep for yourself instead of pouring it out onto other people. Your angels, guides, and loved ones have a message for you today. What is it? Trust yourself always. Trust others once they've earned it. Check in with your body and release any tension you're carrying. Stop looking for outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. So if this whole reading was just like, I already know all that shit, well, then yeah, then you're an intuitive. Congratulations. Like, welcome. Welcome to knowing that you're an intuitive, and it's a wonderful gift. It comes with responsibilities as well. And one of those is acknowledging that you already know. You already know what was happening. You already know what's going to happen. Call on your guides is what I would say to all of that. Whenever you're feeling uncertain, look for signs, ask for them, or just get some rest. Take good care of yourself. Thanks for watching. If you like that, I also have rising sign readings available on my channel right now. Please like and subscribe. It'd really help me out. And thanks for letting me read for you today. I'll see you next time. Bye.